Now, there is now a debate happening because the DOF, not only are they opposing the removal of excise tax or the reduction of excise tax, they want to impose more taxes to cover our international or our loans that were made for COVID-19 response. Now, ano ang reaction mo dyan, Senator Recto?
Yung utang utang per se is not bad. What is important is your ability to pay. Okay? So today, yes, it is correct that we have our debt to GDP is roughly 63%. Nominal value for debt is roughly 11.7 trillion. Siguro mga 20%, 25% of that is foreign debt. The balance is domestic, no? So for as long as mababa ang interest rate, and today you still have low interest rates, although those are inching up, kaya naman natin bayaran. Our ability to pay is there, no? And our credit rating remains the same. It is understandable for the Department of Finance. Ang gusto ng Department of Finance, collectin natin lahat ng WIS, and then through the budget, tulungan natin halimbawa yung transport sector. No? The problem with that, I agree, it's a good policy. The problem with that is masyadong mabagal ang gobyerno pagdating sa pagtulong. Halimbawa, tulungan niyo yung mga jeepney driver, mga taxi driver, or whatever. No? Masyadong mabagal ang gobyerno. In fact, this year we have allocated last year, this year, resources in the budget to help our public utility operators. No? Pero hindi pa nare-release yung bondong yan. No? So a good compromise will be temporary reduction, halimbawa, in excise taxes. Hindi ko naman sinasabing tanggalin natin lahat ng excise tax. Ang sinasabi ko lang, maybe a temporary situation, let's say for the next 6 months or habang ang presyo nasa above $80 kung yun ang gusto nila, bawasan natin ang kalahati ang excise taxes on fuel. No? Maybe the next Congress, we should also study, one of the reasons why foreign investors don't come to the country is masyadong mahal ang utilities natin, masyadong mahal ang kuryente natin, masyadong mahal ang gasolina sa atin. No? So maybe we should relook again, take a look at our tax structure. I can understand why the Department of Finance or government wants to collect taxes from oil kasi madaling kolektahin. In fact, it is the oil companies ang nagiging collecting agent ng gobyerno. Dahil ang kausap lang nila, tatlo eh. Instead of collecting from 100 million Filipinos or 50 million adults, each year for government to collect from 3 companies.
Is it such a big deal for us to tell government, boss, kung 100% yung build mo, pwede ba gawin na lang muna nating 50% during this period? Kasi lahat naman ng mundo nagtitipid eh. Tatax mo kami, wala kaming trabaho. Tatax mo kami, wala na nga kaming makain, ang mahal pa ng pagkain. Is it such a big deal for government to cut?
It's important to make these investments, particularly in education, in healthcare, in security, on infrastructure, no? On one end. On the other hand, ang malaking tinatamaan ng buwis ay ang middle class. And should also be the desire of government to have a bigger middle class. Konting mayaman, konting mahirap, malaking middle class, di ba? So that should be the vision of our society. No? Unfortunately, when we impose taxes, it is the middle class who is hit the most. So yan ang mga dapat pinag-aaralan na mabuti and to strike that good balance. No? Hindi naman maaari that we collect too much taxes from the middle class na yung middle class palit ng baliit at hindi lumalaki. Diba? And remember, 100% tax, let's say I tax you 100% of your income, walang magbabayad nun. Ang collection nun ay 0. Okay? I tax you 0%, wala rin ako makokolekta. So it's always somewhere in between. It's a balancing act, no? And government should not overdo it. And like I said, it is important for government to make investments in soft infrastructure, especially education, healthcare, and hard infrastructure like infrastructure. No? What do I foresee, Sito? I foresee that in 2023, the budget, the growth rate of the budget will not be as high as previous year's growth rates. Okay? Magkakaroon ng austerity, and the next administration, one way or the other, will have to cut the deficit. Okay? So mababawasan yung pag-utang ng ating bansa for sure. You cannot increase the debt to GDP to 100% like we used to be before, no? Right now we're roughly at 63%. We'll probably keep it at that level, no, and probably reduce that over time, no. But it will be unsustainable for us to continue to increase the deficit and increase our debt to unmanageable levels. And it will force us that when we borrow money, we have to spend it properly. Payback should be higher than the cost of the debt. Okay? So yes, magkakaroon ng austerity measures yan moving forward.